Okay. Sorry, Courtney. All right. Okay. So just again, continue to build that sports pipeline, working with 509J and community partners, and then trying to maximize gym space, which is a never-ending problem, but we do have a good relationship with the school district, so we're trying to figure out what we can do. Streamline that volunteer coach and referee training. That's a current goal as well, but just continue to work on it.
I gotta, I've been there. That is awesome. 'Cause that's one of the biggest complaints I heard last year from people out there was the
Yes.
referees, which they're only high school kids.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
awesome.
So we are working with them to have like referee like clinics,
Mhm.
and also just giving them like a mentor type thing. That's one of our main goals this season is to try to like get that issue addressed. And then just continue to elevate that basketball, look at restructuring that preschool and kindergarten practice times. Um, and then partnering with other regional districts for that 3rd through 6th, just so they have somebody else to play with, because it does get a little bit more competitive at those age groups. Um, and then yeah, just continue working with other organizations. And then this is just kind of an overview of like what our seasons look like. Just in case you guys didn't know, like what age groups we offer, what seasons they are, and kind of where they're at. And then in these next few pages are all the graphs. You could see that we've been trending upwards. And then again, trending upwards. Flag football kind of dropped down, but I think a lot of that was because we wasn't sure what the outcome was, so we weren't promoting it. Youth volleyball, this is only our 2nd year in the program, and we've already went up. Last year, I think we had like 26 kids. This year we have 30. So slowly getting up. Youth soccer, again, it was rising, then it kind of dipped. Tackle football, we didn't have it during these years. A lot of that was just we lost coaches, players aged out, and then last year was brand new. This year, just finding the groove of all the things. And that's all I have for the sports.
On the volleyball program, Shauna, how many different groups do we have playing club volleyball this year? Age groups, is there 3 of them?
Club volleyball, none.
Club volleyball, 0?
Yeah. So the high school, well, not the high school coach ended up doing her own club. We're already limited on numbers. We
So
just
this is just intramural ball.
Yep, this is
volleyball.
3rd through 6th grade volleyball.
All linked together and they'll form some teams and play each other.
Yep. So ideally we would love to have like a 3rd, 4th grade league and then a 5th, 6th grade league. But with only 30 kids, we just didn't have those numbers. So we just grouped them together, kind of like we did last year. And it works great because it's not like a direct contact sport. The kids love it. Everybody's figuring out how to play volleyball. And yeah, we've got a lot of returning kids, which is great.
And volleyball will be over before basketball begins.
Yep. So we have a game this Saturday, then we take the week of Thanksgiving off. And then we have 3 more Saturdays. I think our last game's December 22nd. And then we are off. And then basketball starts up January 6th.
So where do you play the volleyball?
Madras Elementary.
All of them?
Yep.
At what time?
We have 1 game at 9 and 1 game at 10.
Anything else for sports? Okay, moving on to our next agenda item, standing and timely updates. Updates on grants and funding, sustainability plans, May 2024 election updates, capital improvements, and other maintenance projects.
Yes. So for grants and fundraising, not much has changed. Courtney's still been looking at grants, but we haven't really applied for any. Um, we did get awarded the PG&E grant from Jefferson County. We ended up getting just a little over 19,000. And then we're still waiting to hear back on the SDAO safety and security grant and the DAV charitable service. So hopefully we hear back soon. And then that's all I have on standing and timely updates. Nothing else has really changed.
I do want to note one thing on the May 2024 election updates. a group went to talk to the city of Metolius and they asked to push approval or at least decisioning to the December 2nd meeting. We had planned to go before the county on November 27th. So that's gonna have to be bumped because the county can't entertain our initiatives until both cities have signed off on it. So I'll chat with Courtney to get us bumped in the county agenda calendar. Okay, then if there's nothing else for the work session, I will adjourn the work session at 6:14 and convene the business meeting at 6:14. So roll call, Chair Siebold is present, Vice Chair Foster Drago present, Secretary Treasurer McCloskey,
Present.
Board Member Lewis, unless she is joined on Zoom,
Not yet.
not yet, is absent, and Board Member Maynard.
Here.
Excellent. Pledge of Allegiance.
We just know it's out. We know it's out there.
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, our land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. In Central Oregon, we are standing on the ancestral lands of the Wasco, Warm Springs, and Paiute people. We pay respects to their elders past and present. Okay, next up, we are looking to adopt the agenda. I do have one amendment to make. I would like to do a new agenda item 6, bumping everything else for an update from the board. Would anyone care to make a motion to adopt the agenda with my amendment? I'll make the motion. Thank you. Motion by Lynn, seconded by Jean.
Yeah.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Correspondence.
All right. So we did get the Oregon Municipal Debt Advisory Commission annual report. This has to do with our bond. We just put it in there that way y'all could take a look at it if you want. It is pretty lengthy, but it's just a ORS that they have to publish each year. Again, it's in the board packet if you would like to take a look. Told you to put it along. All right. And then we also just got a postcard from the Oregon Department of Consumer and Business Services, just about workers' benefit and workers' compensation. And then the Youth Career Connect, we partner with them for some of our lifeguard and swim instructor positions. They are having a Abby's fundraiser on November 27th from 4 to 9 at the Bend, Redmond, and Madras locations, if y'all want to take a look at it.
That's nice. They got all 3 locations.
Yes. Again, they help us with like referees, program aides, all of our entry-level positions. We also got the SDAO annual conference information. I'm assuming Courtney will be in touch if you guys want to attend that or get more information on that.
Looks like it's been this year.
Yep, at the Red Lion Suites. So, or no, the River House, somewhere.
River
Yeah.
House.
Yep. All right, that's all I have for correspondence.
And I just got a message from Janelle that she is jumping on the Zoom.
Perfect.
So I don't know if she has yet. Okay. So our new agenda item 6. Do you have an update for us?
Yes, I was sharing that this is my resignation from the board. And I will share my little letter I've already submitted.
Um,
So, well, I can just read it, but the main reason, I've been on the board, I was trying to think since 2019. Anyway, and I'm so sad to resign and I also, but I think it's also so exciting of the position the board's in at this time. But we are moving to Redmond, so I can no longer be a board member and we're moving, next month at the end of the month. So I just submitted this letter, which I'll just read aloud. I'm writing this letter of resignation due to our family's upcoming relocation out of the district. It has been such a privilege and welcome challenge to dream, work, laugh, pivot, plot, and improve with this diverse board of directors and a passionate, resilient staff that exists at the MacRD. I've learned so much from Courtney since she joined the district. She leads with empathy, plus a committed vision, which has been inspiring to connect with and support. I am very proud of the fiscal progress, increased participation levels, and just all of the testimonials heard over, especially in the last couple of years. It's just been so wonderful to be a part of this organization. And I'll just be forever rooting for the group and for the rec district because I just hope to see it continue to make people's lives better. And I've enjoyed my time on this board very much. It's like, I think it was one of the longest, I was on a different board before this for maybe 1 year longer, but this was definitely my favorite board that I was a part of and made really good friends also. So anyway, I'm sad to leave and
You will be missed.
yeah, it will be, I will still definitely, please always reach out for supportive things, or if I can be of help in any way on the board or not, I'm just will always be happy to, so.
Lynn, I'm gonna echo what Jean just said, you will be missed. Your numerous contributions, your humor, everything that you bring to the board and have over the years, thank you. Thank you for all of it.
Thank you all for being like, really, really nice. It's been such a fun thing to be a part of, really. Well, I don't even know how I got in my house. Where we live right now was from a former board member who had recruited me onto the board, and then he shortly after left the board and moved to Bend, and so I was like, could we live in your house? And that was Greg Williams, and so it all worked out super well because he didn't know what to do with this house, and we sold our house really quickly and we're homeless, so this board even, former board members even helped us, like, yeah, still get to live here for the last, I guess we've rented his house for 4 years. So, and now we're moving, we got a house in Redmond, so anyway, it's been, even our home came from
this place.
from this board. You never know what's gonna happen on a board.
Okay. So then with that, and piggybacking on what.
Sorry, Janelle.
Oh. Okay, so noting for the record, Janelle Lewis is on the Zoom now. So piggybacking on what Frank just said, we are going to need to snag another board member to backfill Lynn's position. So we have two options. We can either request Courtney to open up the candidate pool again, publish the request and the application and begin that process again, or we can leverage the process we just went through for board position number 3, which was vacated by Jaleesa Sapa and filled by Frank Maynard. We can leverage the work we did there and we can reach out to our second choice candidate from that process and confirm they're still interested in the position and look to offer it there. So those are our two options. If anybody has questions, comments, or wants to make a motion. Okay. Is there a second for that?
Let's discuss.
Okay.
So, our our second choice candidate,
Mhm.
you know, who that
Well,
was,
there-
and you didn't have a say in that, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. You would have control.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think either of them brought anything to the table other than, here I am. That's it. So. When are you resigning?
I'll be here through December, through the end of
So
December.
put it off till the next one. Don't, she may change her mind, the house deal.
Kids are like that, sorry.
All the work she's been putting in.
No, it's.
Well, I know, but, you know, is it premature before? Well, she's actually resigned.
No, that's why I did it, so that there could be enough time and so everyone could plan, but, and I also, I mean, I guess I don't know if it makes more sense for someone to join in December instead, that's also fine, but. I will be in district through December, but I think whatever is the best decision for the board to make then. And I would probably abstain, because I think it's all up to all of you for me voting, but I can go either way on any of it, but.
I hear what you're saying, Frank. My concern about delaying is we've got her official resignation. I am hopeful that there are no issues with the new house. So I imagine that will carry over. But also we've got so much work to do, and with the PAC ramping up, I'm nervous about being down a board member. With all the work that's coming up and all the representation that we're gonna need and the time needed to onboard somebody. There's a whole lot of training that needs to happen for new board members, so I would be reluctant to delay any more than necessary, is my opinion.
So with.
There's-
Filling this position, it's only for a year, is that, would they have to run?
Still May, yeah,
They would have to run in May.
they have to
So
run
it
it.
goes, yeah, it would go till May.
Yeah, they would take over Lynn's seat, which runs through May.
I don't know if we're supposed to look at social media, but that other candidate did express a willingness to run.
Yeah.
In May.
Yes.
I thought it was Janelle trying to say something on there too.
Oh, yeah. Well, there was a comment too in the chat from Amanda just saying that they thought a whole new application process. I think if we were going to do a new application process, we would need to expedite it, have it posted right away, and have the candidates present at the December meeting and then pick a new board member at that meeting. And so if we were going to consider that other person, make sure that they were there to apply and then pick them so they could start at the January meeting and be present for everything leading up to the election in May. Because I agree with Deanna that we have to get on top of having an active 5-member board being involved in everything that leads up to an election.
Okay, so we've got one motion on the table. And if there is no second, then that motion dies.
I guess I couldn't hear the motion.
I'd like to see it offered to that second place candidate. And they very well could turn it down because
Okay.
maybe they really weren't vested in it. But at least offer, and then we'd know that we'd have to go through the process.
Okay, then I'm declaring that first motion dead since there was no second. Jean, would you care to make another motion?
I'll make a motion that we offer the vacancy to that second place candidate.
Yes.
That they would understand that they're filling the position from now until May. And just if they're truly interested or not.
Okay.
It's my understanding that I was appointed unanimously. So who is the second candidate?
Irving
Or who did make
Dominguez.
it?
Yeah, as we discussed.
Yeah.
I guess you were appointed unanimous.
Yes. Okay, Jean just made the motion to reach out to our second choice candidate, Irby Dominguez, see if he is still interested in serving in the position, and if so, offering him said seat. Is there a second?
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Two abstaining, Frank and Lynn. Okay, motion passes. I will reach out to Irby tomorrow, and confirm whether or not he is still interested, and if not, then we'll need to open it up, back to the public for new applications. All right. Next up on our agenda is the visitor section and public comment, wherein members of the public are welcome to speak to the board of directors during this time. They should sign in at the beginning of the meeting to be recognized by the board chair. Speakers are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. I'll start with those in the room. Would anyone in the room care to offer public comment? Perfect. Sam, if you could come up and speak into the microphone.
Yes, please make sure you speak into the microphone.
And I think there's one right here by Frank.
Yep, you could just steal Frank's. Oh, yeah, whichever, Sam.
No, you can stand right in front of her speak and I'll see your smiling face.
Jean was clear on that. You offered me to sit down here? No. I will just stand. No.
Sam's a great public speaker. I've
Yes.
seen him in action in a crowd full of hundreds.
Yes, you
Pick
did.
that up so those online can hear what you have to say this evening.
Okay, can anyone hear me? All joking aside. Well, I think most of you know who I am because I've public commented, except maybe the new board, Frank. Well, to introduce myself, I'm Sam Robinson. And I am an employee for the Madras Aquatic Center, custodian worker, but I'm also a disability advocate supporting people with disabilities. I'm a community member. I'm also on different types of boards. I'm on the Employment First Committee. I'm on the Statewide Transportation Improvement Fund Committee, STIF, for Jefferson County. And I'm a Kiwanis. I'm a Kiwanian. Which I need to renew my membership, but and I'm part of the Oregon Self-Advocacy Coalition group. That's all I will go into for now. I don't think I need to mention all the committees I'm on, but I will say, last month I was able to go to Japan. And I had an awesome time. And this is gonna go out in the paper. The story is going in the paper. Kiva has been amazing in interviewing. There's Pioneer. And I hope you all see it. It will be out next week, and but let me tell you, I really enjoy Japan. I love the culture there. It was so amazing. And another bonus, I got to visit our sister city.
Yeah.
Yes, I got to visit Tomi City. And you can redact this information if you want, but no thanks to the Sister City program. I mean, redacting what I said in that statement, but I do appreciate the ham radio community. I was able to connect with a ham operator in Tomi City, and he actually showed me and my roommate around in Tomi, and I loved the city. I love how peaceful it is. It's so peaceful. It's not so crowded. Walking around and going on the, other than being in Tokyo, riding on the trains, it can get overcrowded on those trains, going from place to place. But I really enjoy Japan, and I do had a desire to go back. I got to go visit the care facility that I wanted to go. And I'm gonna plan on doing a presentation here at the Madras Aquatic Center. Courtney's helping me out with that. We're hoping we can get some of the Madras City officials involved in that meeting when the presentation happens. But because it's gonna be my presentation and the meeting for next month. December 12th, I believe it was. And because it's gonna be my meeting at that point, I'm in total control of what I do and what I present at that meeting. So what I say is not hearsay. And I'm not trying to use virtual signaling or gloating, but I really enjoyed Japan and I do plan to go back. But after I get my nonprofit up and running, I'm starting a nonprofit. We're probably going to launch in the next fiscal year and not this year because we're not ready to pay taxes. But I already got a treasurer. I got a board. I'm going to be the board president for the Unity for Inclusion. And I got a board secretary. So it's just going to be the three of us at this point, but we'll be ready. And Courtney and I have been talking about maybe doing a disability for a day workshop, training right here at the Madras Aquatic Center. That's a different discussion, a whole different conversation. But I really enjoyed Japan and the ham radio community. Amazing.
Excellent. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I'm so glad you got to go and you had a wonderful time.
Yes.
That's good. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to
You
say,
state your name.
yeah, sorry, it's Scott Taylor with Friends of the MAC-RD. Also wanted to publicly thank the MAC Trust for the terrific program they put on here at the MAC on Friday for the MAC Bash. And I know that was really, really successful. And my wife and I, Leanna, were here, and it was really a great event and a great time. So and a lot of great work and puts things in good stead for next year. So thank you very much to the MAC Trust for such a good event. As far as the friends are concerned, I have been out and about some, and we're adding to the people that are on our list and looking forward to supporting the MAC-RD, the teams, and the Aquatic Center. And so we are moving forward and making progress, of course, leading into the new year. And of course, we have the meeting coming up on December 2nd, and then hopefully everything goes well there, and then on to the county. So moving forward, so a lot of good progress has been made, and along with thanks to the city of Madras for moving forward the resolution that was put before them to move that process along. So that was thanks to the city council as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Scott.
Yes.
Any feedback on date night?
Well, I'll share with you what my feedback is here.
Okay.
We'll get a chance afterwards. So, thanks.
Excellent. Is there anyone online who'd care to make public comment? You can either pop something into the chat, unmute yourself, or raise your hand. Okay, seeing none. Okay, we'll move on in the agenda to financial reports.
All right. I'm not gonna go too in depth. Y'all know where to find the financial reports. This is through the end of October. So it does have a couple of our tax collections, but that's it. Again, if just look it over. If you guys have any questions, reach out to Courtney. She'll be able to answer anything that y'all have. Yeah.
Next up, considering approval of the consent agenda, so acknowledging receipt of October 24 month,
23.
no, October 2024 month-end financials, and then
Oh.
approving the board work session and business meeting minutes from October 23rd. So if there is a motion with such.
Excuses anyway.
Move to approve.
Whatever, second.
Janelle just,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, Janelle made the motion, Jean seconded. All in favor?
I'm,
Aye.
Aye.
Any?
Aye.
opposed? Okay, that was a unanimous approval, so that passes. Next up, we are looking for a motion on resolution 2024-5-04, designating the budget officer and recognizing the budget committee members for fiscal year 2025-26. We have no expiring terms, so our budget committee would be made up of Alexa Gassner, Melissa Irving, Brandy McNamee, Michelle Kish, and Steve Reed. And everyone's terms, Alexa, Melissa, and Brandy would be December 31st, 2025, and Michelle and Steve, December 31st, 2026. So no movement needed there. So we are looking for a motion to designate said positions. Thank you, Fred. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jean. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that unanimously passes. Budget calendar court, so looking, next up on the agenda, we have consideration of approving the fiscal year 2025-26 budget calendar. This is similar to what we had last year, but Courtney enhanced it, adding more line items to eliminate some of the
Special meetings.
special meetings and confusion. There will need to be some special meetings this year just by virtue of timing. There's so much work to jam in. And then working around council dates and county dates. So one thing to note on here would be the date changes that need to happen for pursuing approval from Jefferson County. Moving that to their meeting, their first December meeting, which is December 11th. Yes, and we've already noted December 2nd would be requesting City of Metolius approve the resolution for district formation. And noting this would undoubtedly to some extent be a work in progress as we navigate a very complicated system with a lot of moving parts. Yes, but I think if nothing else, this gives us a really good starting point. Courtney's gone through and detailed out all her learning gains from last year, noting the different steps that we needed to hit.
And she also, instead of having the budget committee meeting the day after the election, she moved it to the week after, since we know what we're doing this year.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's great that everybody's still serving.
Yes.
Janelle would love to bring this calendar of dates up to the new to the new board member when discussing the position. 'Cause this
Agreed.
is like an
Thank you,
additional
Janelle.
commitment.
Yes, excellent point. Thank you, Janelle. Okay, if there are no questions, would anyone care to make a motion for this proposed budget calendar?
I'll make the motion. to
Thank
consider
you,
approval
Jean.
of the budget calendar as presented.
Thank you, Frank. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And that was unanimous, so no opposed.
Okay.
Next up on our agenda is the executive director report. Our executive director is home ill, so we do not have an executive director report for this month. Courtney can email any updates that she's got, and as always, we can reach out to Courtney with any questions. So next up, we have board member highlights. Would anyone care to kick us off?
Data.
Yes.
I want to hear about the
Yes.
and Mac Bash.
Well, apparently I'll hear some later.
I don't know, get your thoughts first. Get your thoughts first.
So, we had win number 20 go off. I think the highest ranking official was probably the city council member, Bart from the fairgrounds showed up, Keith from Elks. New head nurse in St. Charles, they want to get very involved in the community, they came in from Idaho. And her husband is an event planner.
Wow.
Many other events. I think the discussion was reasonably spirited, but all supported. The conclusion that I got is from the whole thing was the same as we've all been talking about is we need to beat the community, the voters in the face with the correct information. And do it early and often and when I say beat them in the face, just give it to them, not be, you know, I don't know what the word is, but not aggressive about it, you know. We're not, you know, there's a third of the voters we're not going to convince, but we still listen to them and give them the correct information. I think that'll help a lot. There wasn't much more. We all have pretty much the same vision moving forward, keeping it going. And I did bring up the sign issue. And Debbie or Deborah from the chamber, Debbie was there. And she said, that's a hard no from everybody. We're not gonna do it. Nope, can't do it. So I did some research. There are, the Oregon state statutes have 3 exceptions. Putting signs up, and one of them is for public use. So I'm gonna follow through on that. And piss every local jurisdiction off. But, you know, if it's something that's legal, why not do it? And we get the information out there. The size limitations are, you know, 48 square feet. You can't have a sign bigger than 48 square feet. You do have to have the message last at least 8 seconds, and it can't take more than 2 seconds to change.
Okay.
But you know, so that's basically, here's the message, you know, you can leave it up for 30 minutes if you want. That's no restriction on how long to do that. But I've downloaded all of the pertinent ORS codes, and I'll find out who goes. You know, there's a director of ODOT in Bend, and I'm sure she's not the one I need to talk to, but you know, over the next month or so, well, probably 2 months because Christmas people leave. But other than that, lots of correct information, and hit every meeting. He's invited me to go to all the FW stuff. The head, so that's better than knocking on doors, you get more people.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, why does the chamber have a say in building codes for placing signs?
She doesn't, her husband, or, no, she said she talked to Nick. And Nick said, no, let's see, yeah, hard no. And, you know, like I've said before this, we need to start changing no's to ladies to yeses to whatever. So, you know, and I was looking for the exceptions as probably benefit of getting an exception, but it's already in there. No advertising. For profit now.
Oh, okay.
Say, we've got a meeting on this
Just
day.
to say events, right?
Events.
Events, activities.
Right. Public. Yeah. So I don't know, is the chamber a public entity?
I would think they're, are
Are they a
Well,
nonprofit?
they're supported through the city and county. That's what pays to have your chamber down there. It's through city and county funds.
I thought they just subsidized it, but I thought it was member, in theory, it's member dues.
There's member
Yeah.
dues, yes, but the county and the city both
Yeah.
pony up money every year.
Oh, every year, yeah, but I thought that was need-based grant, not. I don't know.
It could be, yeah.
That's a ways down, we can.
Yeah.
I'll work till I hit a bigger roadblock than me, and
I like that.
How about Mac Bash? Did you go to that?
Yes, I did.
I didn't. I didn't report.
Yes, I want to hear.
I bought a picture,
Which one did you get?
the wolves.
Ah, okay.
In fact, I was bidding on the other, I forget what it was, and the guy that was kind of in charge of the auction stuff.
Jared.
So, yeah, just as I was gonna go over and do the last, see where the last bid, he was standing in front of me going like this. And one of his friends wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
It was up over $300.
Oh, yeah.
I bought the wolf one and
That was my favorite one.
Hmm?
I like the wolf one the best. That was my favorite one.
well, those were the two that were framed.
Yeah,
The other ones were just pictures.
yeah.
But, everybody had a good time. Nobody lied too much. I think everything sold, well, I think it was over $17,000.
The exact number. Yeah, I want to hear.
I've got the exact number. Yes.
So is the Mac Bash held on the same date, like the third Friday, or no? No, changes, so.
Yeah, it generally falls around the same time, but it's based on when the members of the trust have availability and when the city doesn't have anything astonishingly big conflicting, so, yeah.
I was sorry to miss it, but we booked that trip back in June. Yeah.
I'll jump in with my
So,
update
yeah, I
then.
want to hear.
Okay.
My update's basically the Mac Bash, so incredibly successful. We ended up making $16,630, and there's potentially one more donation coming in. Jared is following up on that. Everything sold. Everything sold with multiple bids. Lot of donations this year. And actually it was wonderful. So I also volunteered as a CASA, advocating for kids in foster care. And after the Mac Bash, I actually had people reaching out asking how they could get scholarships. So, yeah, it not only sparked to fund the scholarships, it also sparked conversations about folks wanting to secure them for kiddos who really need it in our community. So I thought that was absolutely wonderful. I think everybody had a good time. Yeah, it was very successful.
What was the attendance like? How many people came out? I'm just curious if it was like a lot of people came or.
I think it was similar to last year.
200.
Yeah, something like that. We spread it out more because what we did this year was we had all the food items in here and then non-perishables, some like handmade quilting stuff.
All for
and-
auction.
Yeah,
you
all
had.
that stuff was out in the auditorium.
Okay.
So we
That
spread
worked well.
people out more.
Yeah, because it got so crowded last year in here.
It did,
Yeah.
yeah.
That worked.
Well, I had another item, I guess. Well, last couple of years, as a volleyball coach, I held a golf tournament in the fundraiser.
Mhm.
And it was very successful.
I helped. I volunteered, yeah.
They could, we raised $6,500 each year.
Yeah.
One of the big attractions is that we feed them, we drink them, shirt, cigars, whatever. You know, they had a great golfing experience. We sold hole sponsorships for $1,000. We got a couple of those. We did a memorial hole for one person that passed. If we go through the friends, like that, we can give away alcohol, correct?
Give away alcohol?
Yeah, nobody pays for any alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to be serving under somebody's OLCC certification
There's
licensing.
2 of them.
Yeah, and then it should be under a 501(c)(3), I think, so that we're protected under events.
Right.
Their event insurance,
Right.
which covers the
That's what I-
organization for
I
liability.
still have a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And it went under that, and so that was separate from the school, because the school function can't have it all.
Yeah, yeah,
And so we did that.
yeah,
I think with the interest in MAC being quite a bit higher than the interest in girls volleyball, we would might have to do 2 sessions, but it's either night or the day before Father's Day. So June 14th, something like that. Unless there's an opposition, I'm gonna go forward with getting that done. Might have to ask for some, I'll get some pamphlets made up and start getting sponsorship.
I bet I can get that same crew up there to help you barbecue and hamburgers.
So one of the things with the date night that, they have the 30 hamburgers and like 10 brats, stuff like that. The brats disappeared way before the hamburgers.
Sound different.
Yeah, and I think the brats that are Wild Creek's probably became.
Oh, they're so good, yeah.
So we've got some generous people in town, so, and even for the volleyball, Brightwood put out paid for 3 foursomes and a home sponsorship. And he's very supportive of that.
Yes, very fast, good.
Couldn't get anything out of Keith. I didn't know way in.
Oh.
Well, there's a lot of people that, they get tired of people asking for money and that, so it's hard to get past the front desk to get to a decision there.
My only other highlight was I was able to come with Frank actually and meet our 3 OSU capstone students who are working on sustainability reporting and reviewing every single thing having to do with this facility and how we can improve upon things. Frank can speak much more intelligently to exactly what they're doing, but I very much enjoyed meeting the students and hearing about what they're doing. So, yeah.
Along with that, the information we need to give out is that for the only been in existence 17 years, 16 years. So the HVAC control system is web-based, and every year the people who do it, they send us an opportunity to purchase an upgrade. That year's upgrade to keep the software running and all that kind of stuff. So Courtney had to pay $25,000 to do 17 years of upgrades, with nobody in-house that knows how to operate the HVAC system. So we went through and looked at some of the information on the web base, because we can do it here, and there are some definite glitches. There's also a lot of information that the 3 capstone guys were able to glean, and I think a combination of what they're doing, and we're going to get to Climate Tech, who owns the system or runs the system, and see if we can get some more information to fix things up, save them.
Great to have you on the board.
Yes.
To let them do that stuff. Thank you. Yeah.
Any other highlights, Jean?
Well, my highlight was reading that follow-up email that Courtney sent out as to, we had asked about the grants and how much. And somehow I think we need to get that out there. I mean, she's brought in over $400,000 worth of grants.
Yeah.
After COVID, that's not COVID grants, but since 2021. Yeah, that's phenomenal.
It is.
That's kept this place going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and to add on to that, she took over $60,000 a year bookkeeping job.
Yeah.
A grant writing,
Grant writing position.
grant writing position. Or
Also with
construction work.
Is Courtney on Zoom?
No,
No, oh,
but this is being recorded.
okay.
And anything from 2,000 to 10,000 for grant. Backs up on the deck for lifeguards when we need them. So, and I think there's a couple other things that were in there, but basically,
I think
she's paying us to work.
that's part of the word that we need to get out to the community. They just totally don't get it. They don't understand how much better position this facility is than what it was 5, 6 years ago.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the record, that was one of my highlights. I enjoyed going to the City of Madras meeting, watching Courtney give her presentation. There was no decisions made at that one, it was just And then again, out to the city of Metolius and listening to the discussion. We follow them later. So, yeah. And now that I know when volleyball is, I love to watch volleyball. I'm gonna come watch some of Shauna's kids play volleyball.
We're doing pictures this Saturday, so they'll all be picture ready.
Yeah, Frank missed, Shauna's little presentation, but she's got 30 kids signed up for, volleyball, and their games are Saturday at 9 o'clock at the elementary.
Yep, it's our youth volleyball program, 3rd through 6th grade. Season's almost halfway over. We're going into our 3rd Saturday. They play at 9 and 10 at Madras Elementary.
Matters.
Yep,
And you said that was 3rd and 4th grade, or 3rd through 6th?
3rd through 6th grade.
3rd through 6th.
My highlight was, I just had some opportunities to have conversations at, our kids' new school with some involvement there, and I was realizing how many, talking about a few conversations about the pool or events, and how many people just hearing the positivity of people in Redmond and Ben's feelings of this pool, and then quite a lot that weren't familiar with it or usually go to the Redmond pool, and some suggestion of having some events here, or just, yeah, it reminded me just how many people do know and love it and come here from out of city, and then also how many I think more could find out if there was just some promotional things done, more targeting some kind of, I don't know, community meetings or different things in Redmond or Bend, just even putting out that the pricing, the parties, and there was also a thing we were at a birthday party up in Redmond at the pool, and I was saying, oh, you should have the party here or at the Madras pool, because there was some people kind of saying some things about the pool in Redmond, and I think it's just one of those kind of opportunities where like none of the parents at that party of probably 30 kids knew of some of the pool party opportunities. So I thought some way of kind of more getting the event information out to schools, Central Oregon schools, and families, and some, I'm not sure what would be the way, but even in those few things, I saw a lot of opportunity for awareness about events, and just awareness of like just coming, maybe passing out, giving out some of the passes to come and try that kind of thing. So, that was my, thanks, Lynn.
Janelle, do you
I
have?
have to, yeah, I'll go real fast because I have to jump back on that other meeting. I had the opportunity to go to Madras City Council, and we waited an hour and a half through that urban renewal district stuff, or urban growth boundary, whatever it was, urban growth boundary. Took forever, and then they just voted yes, which was very nice. But so I'm going to see if I can go to Metolius next week for the next round of that fun. And then the Mac Bash was super fun. Kind of just connecting with people. And someone stole the doll bed that I won for my niece. And so it was a very competitive bidding group. And so I had to get the backup one, which has rooster print all over it. It's really funny. And I also barely outbid Barbara Manning for the shopping experience at Urban Home downtown. And she was super upset because she didn't realize that I had outbid her at the last minute. So it was kind of fun. A lot of aggressive bidding going on that night. And then I got to go to Frank's event for a little bit before I went to the high school play. Canyon finished the junior swim league team thing last week and determined that he is not interested in being a professional swimmer. But I think that was good learning. It's the one sport he has not fallen in love with. And he's super excited to start basketball after winter break. So those are all my highlights. And Ren's having her birthday party there this Sunday from 1 to 4. So we're excited about that.
Thanks, Janelle.
A lot of highlights.
And I'm sorry you missed that bed. I told you should have gone for the blue one.
I know that purple one, that lady was like, this is for my granddaughter, and took off.
Okay, perfect. Then if there is nothing else for the group, we will adjourn at 7:03. Thanks, everybody.
Shauna?